we're at that point, ladies and gentlemen. This is pour 6 in a row. Because of some technical difficulties, it's technically pour 7 in a row. But we're super thankful to be able to kind of get back together and go through these whiskeys with you guys. We've bottled stuff, we've sent things out, but we know this is a part that sometimes takes the most logistics for us to be able to get together, and our ability to do that is something that we like. It's not only like, it's a huge sigh of relief for us to be able to kind of get our commitment out.
But knock the videos out.
But it's also like our point of connection, right? Like the whole point of doing this is that hopefully there's some kind of connection between the bottle, us, and you. And without this segment, it's just simply us sending you things to drink. So we're
well said.
Yeah. So right? Like I feel like it's something that. For us, feels like a sense of completion of connecting with the people who are buying the whiskey, and I think that this month was the first time that we connected the society and
Fox and
Pheasant Club with the same distiller. But man, as we just finished the society pour for Old Forester, and I reflected on what we're about to drink. These things do not belong in the same hemisphere.
No.
And listen, hey, if you're a society member and you're creeping on the Fox and Pheasant video, that's not to say that your pour is not great.
No.
I'm just saying it ain't this.
This is what you get for upgrade.
When you upgrade, this is what you get.
You get something good.
This is one of the best pours for me that we've poured in the entire time. I don't think I even said that to you.
No, you haven't.
As I reflected on the notes again before we got into this video, I remembered again like why I really like this this whiskey. I've said many times to a lot of people that I drink whiskey with that I think that whiskey at some point is going to price itself out, right? Like it's going to be so crazy that people don't buy great whiskey anymore because it's just stupid. People will buy it for like a flipping standpoint, but they're not buying it to drink.
Yeah.
And they're certainly not buying it because they love whiskey. They buy it because Instagram told them to. And
the Instagram bottle collection.
Yeah. And I will say the next thing that will happen is whiskey drinkers will realize that aged rum is absolutely an amazing thing. I love old rum, and I love what it brings from a profile standpoint. I literally just secured today a collaboration bottle of a really great bourbon aged in plantation rum barrels. And that stuff's not cheap, but it's a bottle that I got because it's something that I can't wait to try. But I say all of that to transition into this bottle because I think I mentioned it. Old Forester history, again, it's in your tasting notes. I don't need to go down that road. What I will say is that we mentioned it in the last video. Old Forester has a really cool program that allows you to kind of taste whiskey through American history. So, original batch, 1870. This is where we started with the society just now. They have 1910, 1920, on through.
Keeps on going.
Yeah,
1976.
So they have these different profiles of how they were making whiskey during that era, and it creates such a cool platform for being able to kind of do a side-by-side vertical tasting of American whiskey from the same distiller through that. So awesome story, awesome ability to do that not a lot of other whiskey makers, actually none that I can think of, allow you to do that. But recently, and first, we talked about that too. In case you didn't watch the last video, Old Forester, first distiller to bottle bourbon. Mm-hmm. First distiller to do a double barrel.
Double barrel.
Yeah.
And first one to do a single barrel after Prohibition.
Yeah, after the Prohibition era.
Actually, Bottle and Bond.
Bottle and Bond Act, right. So some lots of firsts, a very historical distillery that makes some really great stuff. Birthday bourbon is something that I used to have and I can't get anymore.
Nobody can.
And hopefully this month I get one.
I hope so.
That that kind of offering is something that's super unique to Old Forester. And for the most part, these older, these age profile bourbons, not price prohibitive. You can go get this stuff for a pretty affordable price. They got some
Besides birthday bourbon.
Besides, yeah, that's.
I mean, that's going to cost you.
But now these guys too. So
Yeah.
they recently have relaunched their program of their private barrel and single barrel barrel proof kind of programs, where this guy is part of that single barrel program.
But that's a specialty.
It is.
Yeah.
It is. Well, all of them are. They're all specialty now. Like, so you can, as a retailer only, go and buy a single barrel from them, and you can buy them at their 100 proof single barrel. And like this guy is one of them. I think this guy is absolutely fantastic. Profile from Empress Tavern. I've got multiple different bottles that they actually had chosen, and I always find that they have a really great profile compared to my profile of Eagle Rares and other things that are really, really cool. But this guy is a barrel proof single barrel.
It's a heavy hitter.
It's a heavy hitter, but it's not something that I think, in my opinion, is there are heavy hitters, 1792, one we did for you guys last month, that are exclusive because if you don't like heavy hitters, you might not like it.
But this is a barrel strength single barrel.
Right. And that's what I meant. So
it's kind of rare.
Maybe I said single barrel, but I meant barrel strength.
Yeah.
So that 1792 was a barrel strength, full proof, not watered down, at a similar profile.
Almost the exact same in terms of alcohol content.
That guy gets you ethanol right off the nose.
This does not.
This guy gets you caramelized bananas.
Yeah.
And this is where that whole rum fascination that I just went down kind of comes into play. I feel like this guy smells like it finished in rum barrels, but it didn't. Yeah. And that's the cool thing to me about whiskey and the directions that it can go. So,
well, this is an exclusive bottle.
Yep.
That Fox and Pheasant members are getting a tasting of. That honestly will be challenging to find.
You at this point you won't find it. You can't get this bottle.
And it's going for quadruple the amount of the secondhand market that it was.
If you find one of these guys now, and it might not even be the exact same.
It won't be on the shelf. I'll tell you that.
Well, yeah, you might get a barrel proof. It won't be the same single barrel. Right. But even at the barrel proof, you're probably on a secondary market going to pay at least $300 for.
Yeah.
The fact that we got 5 bottles, somewhere in that ballpark, is insane. Super because a barrel proof single barrel program only yields 160 bottles at all. There's only 160 bottles in existence, and we got 5 of them.
Yeah.
So the fact that we could have enough to pour for this club is something that is not normal, and that's why I think this is a really cool way to wrap up.
But it's what we do.
It's what we do.
That's what we remember. This is what we do.
So we're gonna pour this guy now. Mind you, we've already had. This is our 7th video of the evening. Oh my god! We're now ending on a super heavy hitter. Yeah. Well, you need enough to be able to kind of let it breathe. Right off the nose on this guy, you're gonna get the caramelized banana.
I'm getting the banana.
Citrus peel. And here's the other thing, and this guy.
Incredible bottle.
You've heard me talk a lot in our whiskeys of baking spices, and this is a similar thing as always, right? Like, I might say even herbal or grassy. I think I did that on a different whiskey tonight. But this is like savory herb. So you're not only getting that caramelized banana, but you're also in the same smell getting thyme. Thyme or rosemary. And that is something for me that is incredibly unique. I don't have a lot of whiskeys that can provide that kind of diverse smell and bouquet off the glass. Yeah. So you said you got banana right off the bat?
Right off the bat.
Yeah, there is
right off the bat.
This caramelized banana. it smells like this potentially aged in a rum barrel, but it did not. And for me, this is one of my favorite bottles I've tasted in the last year, because of the complexity. I put notes on your tasting card that, because there's nowhere to go for direction on something as unique as this. A barrel strength, single barrel, whatever you pull and you throw it in a bottle. There's like not many people have this, let alone have a platform to tell me what they think about it, let alone a palette or a vocabulary to describe it. So like you're kind of like navigating uncharted territory, right?
For sure.
You're just kind of going out there with a wheel and sitting down and trying to figure out what it is you're tasting.
Yeah.
So I sat with a very small pour of this after we bottled it and sat for like 45 minutes and just kept structuring everything I tasted. And I really had 30 things on a piece of paper.
Wow.
And I just kept whittling it down to what the predominant note was. And I would scratch something out and kind of keep kind of working up the tree of what I was tasting.
And that's great because I didn't know that. And
Yeah.
I think that's super cool because this was a unique find that, you know, we weren't looking for it. It just kind of fell into our laps.
Yeah.
And then it was like, all right,
We got called.
Well, we did.
Yeah.
We did get called.
Yeah. Ed McMahon got called. So
American Whiskey Preservation Society got called.
Yeah.
But we each have our connections.
So
But, yeah.
caramelized banana, citrus peel thyme for me, on a nose standpoint. You might get a bevy of things because again, I probably had 15 notes that I described, but I tried to whittle it down to what I kept getting time after time on a smell, and that's what I put down.
Well, and everybody keep in mind this is a 126.7 proof
Yeah,
bourbon,
yeah,
and yet we've had some high proof bourbons even in the last couple of videos that we've done where you're getting a really strong ethanol smell.
yeah.
You do not get that with this.
No,
This is a uniquely.
It smells. It's almost like one of those things that you like as an aperitif, where you're like, "Hey, it makes me hungry," because of the fact that it's got these savory herbs that are in there, and that caramelized banana. It almost kind of just makes you hungry. So it gets back in. I have rosemary, charred oak, and the black tea is the finish for me on that first initial taste that I kept getting time and time again. And maybe it's because I've
I got a little mint.
Again, there's tons of herbs, and everybody's going to get something slightly different.
Yeah.
I've been drinking a ton of black tea personally. I'm trying to wean off of coffee so much, and I'm drinking some like some just like loose leaf tea, and I'm drinking it hot. I'm drinking it cold, and I've got a tumbler but black tea has this ability to dry out your mouth, create this like herbal long finish. There's a bit of smokiness to it. There's a bit of like a bitter note at the very end, and I get that at the finish every time I was sipping it. And I think that tie-in for me was something I couldn't drop. I just kept tasting black tea every time I.
And as much as I enjoy this neat, I think it would also be good with a cube.
Well, the heat itself would allow a cube to round it out a lot. Because there's no hiding something when it gets to, oh my God. I was going to say, you want to save that and go for a cube?
I don't because it's that good.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, it's tasty.
There's no hiding something that's almost 130 proof, right? You know, like it's got heat. The finish for me and what I put in the notes, it's earthy, it's vegetal, it's definitely got a dry oak on the very finish. None of it's overwhelming. It's all subtle. Every flavor that I mentioned is subtle.
Yeah.
And that's why I think there's also why I had, 30, 40 notes. Like there's so many different notes and different flavors going on. These were the ones that stood out to me as I kept sipping it and revisiting it through a single pour. But man, I think it is absolutely fantastic. It might be a lot for you. If you're not into heavier proof stuff, it is a big bourbon.
But it's pretty smooth considering.
But we drink whiskey a lot. You know what I mean? Like, so like I never lose sight of that. Like I feel like what I drink today versus 2 years ago versus 5 years ago versus 10 years ago is dramatically different.
Yeah.
It's easy for me to be able, like, there's a lot of people who if they finished the amount you just did on this guy, would be coughing. You know what I mean? Like it'd be like, oh my God.
Yeah.
So I don't want to lose that. It is warm, and I think that's why an ice cube would be a brilliant thing for your second pour. Our profile and our palate and our ability to just like our brain understands this isn't pain, so it doesn't send the same receptors, right? Like it doesn't go like, oh my God, your mouth's on fire, pain.
Ooh, smell that glasses.
Yeah,
they got a tobacco smell too.
It is.
Ooh, but it's like a sweetened tobacco.
Yeah, it's a phenomenal whiskey, and I was blown away by it. It's not your daily drinker. It's not your, I would sit here and pour multiples in a row. But for the complexity, the layers, the balance, for the proof that it is just a really cool whiskey that I'm super proud to have sent you. I'm so excited that we found it, that we got that call, because you won't find a lot of whiskeys quite like this on the market that you're gonna actually just back into. You know what I mean? Yeah. Is that your Edmund Man there? Yeah.
That's my Edmund Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, ladies and gentlemen, we hope that you have.
Jury.
Yeah. No. We hope that you have and do enjoy this pour. This is what when I think about what I want to be able to provide to Fox and Pheasant members on a consistent basis. It is the one of a kind, off the shelf. Like, this is, when I say off the shelf, I don't mean you can't. It's not off the shelf. You can't get it. Something off our shelf that we pull that is super unique. When I think about being able to balance bananas and thyme and rosemary and these kind of flavors in a pour, it's what makes me love whiskey. And hopefully it's something that for you is something you've never had before. It's certainly nothing like we've poured for you guys before. The black tea finish, it's a way different profile, and I absolutely love it. I had a blast figuring this bourbon out. I was looking forward all evening as we went through the videos to get to this guy, because it's just not. It's not routine. This isn't
your typical.
No, it's not.
Yeah.
So I hope you enjoy. I can't wait to hear or see your comments or talk to you guys after you've tried it. Try it a good ounce and a half with neat, and then throw your last couple 2.5 ounces or so on.
Which is probably what I should have done, but dang, it's so good.
Yeah.
I just had to take it down. But the other thing is, if you're interested in doing a tasting with Old Forester.
Yep.
And, we obviously have a couple of these. Be kind of a cool thing to go through. And so for members, if you're interested in participating in a tasting through Old Forester and going through the years with us, put it in the comments and let us know, because we'll reach out to you and we'll set something up, because we're thinking about doing that.
Yeah. We're kind of winding down on our first year of doing this thing.
Might be an anniversary kind of thing that we do, where we do an Old Forester tasting.
Yeah, so we hadn't thought about it and exactly how we're going to celebrate our first year. There's lots of options that we can do, but I think regardless of whether it's for the 1 year or a little bit later on, a vertical for Old Forester of trying whiskey through the ages is a really cool evening regardless. So, so guys, I hope you have had a wonderful 4th of July. If you're watching this, I hope you have all your fingers, and that everybody had a very, very safe 4th. But we are very much looking forward to powering into August in our second year with a bang, because we're ready to go. now that we got caught up,
Yeah.
we are very much so a month ahead. And we've got plans for the next several months already. So
We're fine tuning this thing.
yeah, we're gonna get there.
We've
So,
learned a lot.
so thank you so much, guys. You have a wonderful evening. Cheers to you all. Man, enjoy this Old Forester because it is fantastic.
Good stuff.
And we'll see you real soon.
All right.
All right,
Take care.
thank you.